11 life paths. Okay, I'm gonna try to make this one very quick. Okay, how to attract a romantic partner. Okay, and I'm gonna be very honest with you guys because like I feel like a lot of 11s have a very hard time with like dating and like romantic relationships or whatever. So I want to make something very clear, and I'm gonna get to a clear cut point right now. If you're a man, if you're a man, you have to respect and honor the feminine. If you are a woman, you have to respect and honor the masculine. Now, I know in the postmodern society, what they did is that they have divided and conquered people. One of the biggest messages I got in one of my mushroom trips actually was, and then when I did it after years, was that two things. One, they're trying to obliterate us by taking us out of nature, putting us into box homes, box cars, box offices. Nothing wrong with that, but that is their agenda. I'm just going to be very honest with you. If you know me, if you know my channel, I like to keep it blunt. Okay? The next thing I got is that they're trying to obliterate the family unit. Okay? So one of the tactics that they use to obliterate the family unit is that they put the man against the woman and the woman against the man. So if you are, hang on. If you are trying to actually attract a partner, okay, you are doing something wrong. I'll tell you why. Because you're trying. You don't try. You have to let things flow. Now, that doesn't mean that if you're trying to pursue someone, that's a different story. But what I mean is you let things flow, number one. Number two, you cannot resent the opposite energy because that energy exists within you. If you look at our culture today, all our culture does is, like, if you look at the vast majority of TikToks or like Facebook reels, a lot of these reels that are on relationships, they'll have a bunch of men bashing women, and then they'll have an opposite crew of women bashing men. But like, you're not honoring the masculine, or you're not honoring the feminine. What you're doing is, like, as a man, I'm gonna tell you something honestly. As a man, if you look at these shows where they're like calling women like all these names and like telling you to treat them that way or whatever, you have to get, as an 11 life path, you have to know that that's not going to serve you. Because the thing with you is your energy is, and I'll get to the woman too, your energy as a man and an 11 life path woman is so strong that if you do build a unconscious resentment, and a lot of people have this, okay? So you could have it and be oblivious to it too, right? You might be like, even with your words or with your like thought processes, some people like, oh, like, look at it, it's so this, it's so that. I don't even want to say these words because let me tell you, words are like spells. When you say something, you have to understand. You have to understand. See, not even understand, because understand. These are all ancient words that they manipulated, and like when they say understand, this was like in ancient courts. They make you stand under a judge, and that's where they got the words from. So it's like understand. You have to understand that even the words that you are using, okay, or even the thoughts that you are having, if you are a man and you're thinking like all these thoughts about like a whole group of people, or if you're a woman and then you're thinking thoughts of a whole group of other people, which are men, you have to understand that you are trumping the other half of you, because you have masculine and feminine in you. It's in all the yin and the yang, it's all there, right? So like, on a very, this if you could actually really get what I'm saying, I promise you, this is a gem. Because this is a unprogramming. If you look at all men, you're like, no, all men are like this. Or like, most men are like this. Oh, most men are going to do this to... You're programming yourself. And when you program yourself, that becomes your reality. Because as an 11 life path, your thinking is so powerful that when you start thinking these things, they actually start happening. My number one thing would be deprogram yourself. If you're a man, tell yourself that you respect and you honor the feminine and show that to the woman. And if you're a woman, vice versa. You respect and honor the masculine and show that, right? Now, it doesn't mean you let people like fucking walk all over you or some shit like that. Like, be assertive, get to the point, don't let people waste your time, you know, don't let people walk all over you, okay? We know as 11 life paths, people like to kind of like, you know, push things on us or whatever. You just be a little more assertive. But what I'm telling you right now is, if you have a subconscious programming of, oh, this gender is like this or that gender, like if you have these programs in your mind, well, guess what? That's the type of people you're gonna find in your life. You're going to find in your life. It could take you even 1 year to deprogram yourself, like minimum, like to be very honest with you nowadays, right? So you first gotta work on deprogramming yourself. And like, again, that has a lot to do with transmuting the carnal mind, okay? It has a lot to do with and that's for a whole different topic. If you're an 11 life path man, you've got to look into SR, semen retention, and I'm just being honest. If you're 11 life path woman, look into the moon cycles. Look at how you operate your body with the moon cycles. This is an ancient history that they're not trying to tell you guys. They don't want you guys to know this. Why do you think people are seeing angel numbers, right? But they don't teach you this in schools. They're not going to teach you this in school. They're not going to teach you ancient history in school. They're not going to teach you numbers in school. What the flip? You think they want you liberated? You think they want you out the matrix? And I'm not talking about like this, I make like 100,000 or 1 million a year and I'm out of the matrix. No, you're still in the matrix if your mindset is still enslaved. If you still have the same, I'm going to be honest, a person that's working a job, but he is liberated from the soul, he will eventually get out of that job, or she will eventually get out of that job. But they're more liberated by comparing to some of these people that have the money, but they're still programmed. They're still programmed to hate the feminine or hate the masculine. You cannot do that. You... That's not something like you could really do, to be honest with you, because any form of resentment is going to backfire on you. And that's me just keeping it a buck, keeping it like really real with you guys, okay? That being said, have yourself a wonderful day, evening, night, wherever you guys are, whatever time it is. Take care.